It was another cold, windy night in November of 1996. My father was out late as always, leaving my sister and I alone. It wasn't anything new for us to hear the creak of the front door well after midnight. But on this night, when our father arrived home, we knew something wasn't right. When we heard the creak of the door, we ran to meet him. He usually was happy for us to greet him and would playfully fuss at us to get back to bed. But this time, he just patted my head distractedly and asked if we had dinner. By the look on his face, we could tell something was wrong. I started to ask him, but before I could get the words out, he pushed me aside and stomped off to his room, shutting the door. This became a new routine. Every night when the door would creak open, he'd go straight to his room, having nothing to do with anyone or anything that ever tried to talk to him. Before leaving my mother's home to visit my father, she said something to me that confused me. "Be careful, Michael, and Maggie, keep an eye on your brother." My mother never worried about us, especially when we were going out to father's. We hadn't told her about him acting strange. I wondered what she knew that we didn't. The next day around 6 p.m., my father called me into the kitchen. My sister was setting the table for our meal.
"Maggie, if it's alright with you, I'd like to spend some time alone with Michael after dinner."
My dad said. That was odd even for Maggie. My father and I have never spent a lot of time alone together. It was always the three of us. After dinner, my father and I went out to the truck. It was already getting dark outside as we headed down the long dirt road. This road was familiar with my bus rides. It always seemed sketchy to me. Without reason, tall, skinny trees lined the roads on both sides. They seemed to be hiding something, or even maybe someone. This road seemed like forever. When we finally stopped, we were at a train track. The train that went down this way was the same train that woke me up before school. I didn't bother asking my father what was going on. He seemed a little annoyed. After sitting in the truck for a while, 3 cars pulled up to us. I had no idea who they were, but I didn't even bother to ask my father.
"Get out!"
He said to me. I asked him.
"Why?"
"No time to explain. Ain't much longer we can be out here tonight."
Father said. When we got out of the truck, my father walked to the other men. There were about 7 of them, all in suits. "Who dresses up for a night ride?" is all that was running through my mind. I was trying to eavesdrop, but they were too quiet. The conversation was short and solemn. Turning to me, my father said,
"Get the barrels out of the truck."
Unsure of what was going on or why there were barrels in the truck, I hesitated.
"Now!"
He whispered intensely. I knew not to ask any questions. I could tell by the look on his face now was not the time to talk. "These things must weigh a ton," I thought while trying to lift one. I had to tilt it on the edge, on its bottom, and sort of walk it down to the bed of the truck. I was sweating and straining. By the time I got one out, my father and the other men had gotten at least 5. I started to feel as if they didn't really need me. I was just company for my father's ride. But why would he bring me out here with these men at night? I wondered. I remembered my mother's warning. "Be careful, Michael." What was going on? I noticed as the barrels moved from our truck onto one of the train cars was that all the barrels were labeled with fruit. Peach, strawberry, and an on. That seemed odd to me. Why would we be out here in the middle of the night handing off berries? I wondered. When we got them all loaded onto the train, one of the men in a dark suit and fedora gave a whistle in the night. It must have been a signal. I could hear the steam from the train's engine. Within a minute, the wheels of the monstrous machine began to move forward. All the men silently got back to their vehicles and left. As my father drove into the night, I thought we were going home until he took an unexpected turn.
"Where are we going?"
Don't worry about it. If it's Maggie you're worried about, she'll be fine."
He replied. We rode in silence. When we stopped, we were at an old cemetery I often passed on the way to school. I saw smoke coming from the ground, like there was an underground fire. When we got out of the truck, the same men were there. I was confused.
"Follow me."
My father said. As we walked, we got closer and closer to the smoke. When we were finally close enough to feel the heat, my father slid a tombstone, revealed an odd trap-like door on the ground. When we entered, laughter filled the room. More like a dirt cave, if you ask me. There are at least 15 men in there, on the other side of the room. I spotted another young boy around my age. He must have spotted me too, because he walked over to me.
I'm Ty.
He said.
Michael,
I responded.
what is this place?